I'm ready.
All right. This meeting is being called at 6:31 PM. Notice is hereby given that this is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, being held today, Thursday, June 8th, 2023 at 6:30 PM at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas, where a quorum of the City Council is present. All agenda items are subject to action. The public has been permitted to offer public comments as provided by the agenda and is permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary in person at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting, or by emailing or calling the city secretary at cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com or 210-607-0834 at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting. Any written comments received at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting have been provided to the city council for consideration. Madam Secretary, may I have a call to order, or call to order?
Mayor Pro Tem Alvarado. Here. Alderwoman Martinez.
Yes, ma'am.
Alderman Rapino.
Here.
Alderman Fillinger.
Here.
Alderman Coffin.
Here.
We also have our city attorney and city secretary. You have a form.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, do we have any citizens to be heard?
No.
Okay, moving on. Mayor and Administrator announcements, updates. I don't have any updates to provide at this time. Madam Secretary, do we have anything to discuss? Trying to think, right? Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to item number 5, consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I move that item A is a typo. You approve the minutes from the May 11th, 2023. So we will approve that separately. So I make a motion that we approve that separately since there's a typo. It's,
Okay, I got a motion from
it's right on here, I guess.
on the back of the
On the back, yeah. So-
Back of the actual.
of the meeting minutes.
Sir, we need to move the item and do the others and then come back to that.
Correct.
After separate discussion.
Correct.
So we don't have to move to remove that. You just say,
Okay.
we'll,
Okay, so we're gonna remove item A from the consent agenda and review all other items. And discuss item A separately.
I move that we approve items B and C as presented.
Second that motion.
Yeah, so there's one.
All right, so I got a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderman Kaffendafer to approve items B and C of the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
All right,
All those opposed? That's unanimously. All right. So if we jump to item A of the consent agenda,
I move that we correct the passed and approved on this 25th day of May 2023 and corrected to passed and approved on May 11th, 2023.
You said May 8th, or
11, he said 11.
11th, yeah.
Actually, it should be the June
June
8th today.
today.
It's
June
it's the
8th
day
today.
the minutes are approved.
Oh, okay, but I meant to correct this.
Yeah, we're gonna correct, okay.
Right, so, and then, that we approve the minutes today.
yeah, is it, I'm having a hard time hearing, was your motion to strike?
Yeah, we strike the
25th
2020,
day
yeah, the 25th
Yeah.
day of May
And insert-
2023 and insert
June.
8th of June.
Yep.
2023.
2023.
Can I get a
I will
second?
second that
Second.
motion.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I got a motion from Alderman Rapino and a second from Alderman Pillager to strike the 25th day of May 2023 to now the 8th day of June 2023. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's unanimously. Thank you, everybody.
Sir, we approved the change. Do we need to approve the item separately?
Yes, you still have
Okay.
2 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay. So now we can go ahead and,
I move we accept item A as amended.
I'll second the motion.
all right, so I got a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderman Coppendaffer to accept item A as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 6, the financial report. Income and expenses for May 2023 will be reported by the city secretary, Catherine Yelton, with possible discussion and or action.
Okay, so for the general fund, beginning balance as of May 1st is $291,960.83. We had checks and payments of $69,823.88. Deposits and credits of $95,795.70. Leaving an ending balance as of May 31st of $317,932.65. Next page is the ARPA fund summary, beginning balance of $760,717.50. We had a check and payment and a deposit of the same amount that was meant for the TDA account. And leaving a ending balance the same of $760,717.50. Bond fund, beginning balance of $617,814.85. A deposit of interest of $27.73, leaving an ending balance as of May 31st of $617,842.58. And then finally, the bond fund account, I'm sorry, the TDA grant account, beginning balance and an ending balance of $51,970. So that's the details of the budget for May.
There's no discussion. I will move to approve the financial report as reported.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino and a second from Alderwoman Martinez to accept the financial report as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to Police Department updates and announcements from Chief Lopez with possible discussion and or action. Chief? No updates. There we go.
Be giving my reports next.
Next week or next, okay. All right, presentation of monthly report with possible discussion interaction. We'll skip that one. That's been pulled for next week or next meeting. All right, moving on, Parks and Recreation. Update and possible action. Updated announcements from Park Advisory Committee Chair Alderman Rapino with possible discussion interaction.
We had a meeting last week that went well. Things continue to go well in the community center. We are looking forward to having the car show coming up, this on Father's Day weekend.
I guess for the day before Father's
Yeah.
Day.
And hopefully that will be the first one that will follow on in coming years. Hopefully it will go well. And the community center continues to have nighttime festivities. I don't, not really festivities, but they are
Events.
activities that the community seems to really like, and they have lots of participation. Our next meeting will be July 11th. It usually is the first Tuesday, but that's the 4th of July, so we moved it to the 11th of July. And that's all I have for right now.
6:30?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? All right, moving on, Public Works, updates and announcements from Public Works Director Priscilla Schmidt with possible discussion interaction. Ma'am?
Good evening, everyone. We're still on schedule for the burn for the park, the brush.
And what is that date?
It's going to be Monday the 12th.
Fire department making any recommendations for those that live around there? They haven't made any.
No, because it's just gonna be the brush and they're gonna have quite a few. I believe there's gonna be either 2 or 3 fire trucks. What I could do is reach out to the chief or to the lieutenant or the captain
For the time.
and find out. And then I can email, I can attach it. And so y'all can all be aware of it.
What time of the day?
That I don't have, but what I was told is they want to do it early in the morning. And I said, I'm game. The sooner the better. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever y'all guys want. So the sooner the
I'm
better.
thinking when it gets down to coals, we should have a big roast.
Mm,
There was a loose pig.
Maybe.
Pork chop or bacon?
So I'll make an announcement on Nextdoor. If you can get me a time as soon as possible. That way I can make people aware.
So that's
of
for
the
the
promotion.
whole community. Bring stuff?
No,
No.
No,
Oh, you just want to make it aware. No, I'm just asking because he said, I'm gonna,
Well,
the community.
I'm gonna let them know that there's gonna be a burn in the,
To make them aware.
correct, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of smoke.
Freak out.
Just thought I'd wake up every.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Please don't bring anything. There's plenty there already. It's not allowed. It's not.
That needs to be said also.
But I will let y'all know. So I will tag all council members, mayor in that email. Get a confirmation of what time, how many fire trucks possibly be there. And let y'all know.
Are we closing the park for the burn or just keeping people back away from it?
I think we should close
Like, ooh, fire, let's go watch.
Well, I don't think we should close the gate because the
No, no, no,
fire
the
department needs to
gate,
get in.
The gate is in lock mode, so they can't close the gate. It's got a chain on it.
Okay.
I'll get with chief on that and maybe we can have one of the officers just kind of stand by. And if not, I mean, just maybe periodically just swing through there, but the fire department will already be there, a captain,
Mhm.
their crew, so I don't see we having any issues.
Okay.
And it's in an open area. We're dragging the blade around the brush pile. Just to help that out, so it doesn't catch the grass on fire. And that's all I have for right now.
Okay. All right, moving on, agenda item 10. Administration old business, discuss under possible action on setting official policies regarding animal control. Alderman Fillinger, Alderman Kumpendorfer, y'all have the floor.
I hate to say this,
Oh, no.
but I will. I'd like to postpone it because I have a college educated person doing edits.
Okay,
So let's look at, I want to postpone it till our next meeting.
Postpone.
Don't worry, it's not me.
Your neck is redder than mine, so Let's leave it at that. Yes, it does.
We won't have one.
All right, so that's postponed till the 22nd? Is
Please,
that,
sir.
is that, okay, you saw it?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay. We need a motion.
You need a motion to table, you could just.
Okay, yeah.
Let's wait for it.
Yeah, that's what I got. Okay, we'll go ahead and just postpone it till our next meeting, which is June 22nd. All right, moving on to agenda item 11, discuss under possible action on resolution number 2023-178, designating an officer or employee to calculate no new tax revenue rate and the voter approval tax rate. That's me. All right. Are there any questions? Who was the, were you the, yeah,
Will this resolution allow you to designate the county tax assessor as your deputy?
yeah, I think
Okay.
and that's what we did last year,
It
right?
provides for the mayor as designee, and I believe the city also has a contract with the county to do all that. So this is just.
Yeah.
Texas. Tax.
Okay, I have no more questions. Anyone else?
I make a motion that we approve the resolution 2023-178.
Sir, we adopt.
I'm sorry, adopt. Thank you.
I was like, adopt resolutions.
Who's second?
I did it, Debbie.
Resolution we adopt,
Was there a second?
ordinances we approve.
Okay, so I have a motion from Alderman Coffindaffer to adopt resolution number 2023-178, a resolution of City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, designating an officer or employee to calculate no new revenue tax rate and the voter approval tax rate. And a second from Alderwoman Martinez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. That is unanimous. Okay. All right, moving on to the fun one, discuss under possible action on ordinance number 2023-2022. Abolishing the planning and zoning commission and providing for the city council to consider planning and zoning issues without the necessity of the planning and zoning commission. So before we start discussing this, I do have to say, I feel like we still need to give the planning and zoning commission another go at it. However, perhaps with you members. So I'm,
Can I address the
Sure.
whole issue?
yeah,
Okay. Tri-state cities can have or not have a master plan.
mhm,
But once they have a master plan, the planning and zoning has to comply with the master plan. Okay, now, we don't have to have a master plan. The city can have a planning and zoning commission or not, or city council can be the planning commission. Okay. We don't have to have a planning and zoning ordinance, but I think it would be ignorant not to work towards having a planning and zoning ordinance. Okay. Go back, history, way back when, I advocated we have a planning and zoning ordinance and then adopt a master plan, but we adopted the master plan first. Planning and zoning is important, and it's important that we institute something as soon as we can. Right now, there is nothing to stop somebody from buying a 16 by 20 shed, putting it on their property, wiring it up and saying, it's my house. Okay. And I think we have a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
So it's vitally important we have a planning and zoning ordinance. There are some issues. Some of the planning and zoning ordinance are technical. And that's where the commission got hung up. The commissioner
Yes.
Hadley, thank you. Commissioner Hadley and I have sought a city planner to assist with this. Everyone we talk to, and I've actually talked to 4 different engineering companies, and a couple of city planners, and nobody is able at this time to take on another project. So with the mayor, I would like to have the planning zone commission tasked with doing this, simply because I don't believe anybody on this council wants to have 2 or 3 more meetings a month to address this issue. That said, I have spoken with Commissioner Hadley and said, I will work with you. So, we can either remove the planning and zoning commission and us take on that task, or we can look at the prior ordinance that we did not look at to reduce the number of commissioners, because the issue has been for the commissioners to form a quorum. 3 commissioners show up regularly and the other 2 don't. Okay, so if one of our commissioners that regularly shows up can't show up, meetings canceled. So all that said, everybody needs to be aware of those facts. We need a planning and zoning ordinance, and unless you're willing to say, okay, I'm ready to have an additional meeting or 2 every month, council isn't going to be able to approach this.
And I agree. I agree.
That's the history, that's the facts.
And we do have an ordinance. We do have a planning and zoning ordinance.
We do have planning and zoning ordinance. We're looking at replacing it.
So do we replace it or amend it so we reduce the number?
Actually, we had an ordinance before us at our last meeting to reduce the number.
Right, so is that what we need to do and hope for the best?
Well,
Okay, no, go ahead.
go ahead, sir.
That's what I was, that was my.
I don't think we need to reduce. I don't think we need to reduce. In fact, I think we just need to replace. I mean,
Well,
We've replaced before and
Yeah.
well, this is
actually,
a new
we haven't.
regime.
Actually, we haven't. We've had a vacancy on the commission for well over a year, but probably a year and a half.
I have 2 names that have business acumen, that have a wealth of experience. So, I mean, I don't think we need to reduce. I think we need to replace.
Just bring them on.
Okay, actually, everybody's terms expired, so we don't have to remove anyone. How
long is their term on? How long are their terms?
They're staggered.
Well, that's supposed to be staggered in their 2-year appointment. Okay, the commission was formed in 2019, and there's been no replacements. Guy, if you have names, then I'm perfectly willing to live with the existing ordinance. There's nothing wrong with it other than we had not been able to get a quorum regularly.
So is the action now to, do we need to add it to the next agenda to recommend people?
Well, let's see, yes,
Yeah.
because it's not on the agenda.
So we're not approving this one.
Right, so we wouldn't be approving,
So we just pull this.
yeah, we can just pull item B.
Keep it in the file, so.
Yep.
We don't want to have to take a standard and do this all over again.
Yeah, and then do we pull C? Because then that's related to those,
Yes.
right?
Well, 'cause-
We have a separate ordinance. Do we not?
well, C was an anticipation, if the commission was abolished, then it would change the plat dates that were approved by
okay,
council. So if it's not abolished, the
Then
deadlines that are currently in place.
we'll, with,
Pull them.
fill that item, Mayor, that would be the
Okay.
thing to do.
Yeah, that'll be pulled, and I'll discuss with my two candidates, whether they're still interested. But from my discussions,
Okay,
they want to both give back to the community.
So is it like every other committee that you need a member of council on the election?
No,
I think there is though a member of council on there.
no,
No?
Planning and Zoning Commission.
No, no.
Wasn't Terry on there? Didn't we approve that
No,
Before
Not
he
once,
was-
before you were council?
before I was council, yes, but once I
Did you
joined the
step down?
council, I had to step down. from
Did you step? Okay, all right. All right, that's fine. Okay. So moving on to agenda item D, discuss under possible action on the possible rebuilding of the city parking lot. So look, I talked to our engineer. It's been an ongoing process. And he's estimating about $135,000 to rebuild our parking lot and the driveway up to the main road. This is widening of the road, so it's a two-way traffic. It's multiple parking spots out in front, with parking in the center. It's all the ADA accessible paintings and so on and so forth. And it's quite a bit more than I was originally expecting, because when we sought out just some general guidance, originally they were quoting about 75K. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Now, that said, that was also, Priscilla, how was it? What was that? Almost a year ago that we talked to that gentleman? And almost probably 6 to 8 months. And so this is
the first estimate you got was, it wasn't happening.
possibly, yeah.
No, it was, no.
I mean, they're a legit company, so I mean, I can't say
They're a
they're,
legit company.
Yeah, yeah.
They could not deliver what we wanted. $75,000.
yeah, I mean, we don't know that, but we'll see.
That's, I can't see that.
That's,
We, and that's why we asked the engineer to
yeah.
look at the project. Okay,
All right, so that's where we're sitting at today. His estimate's about 135K plus or minus 5 to 10,000. Just depending on how they bid it, it would go up to bid. The question that I have obviously is like, where do we fund it? My initial thought is ARPA. We have that sitting. Based off of the ARPA balance available, we have,
I can actually give you an update because I spent some time today going back and making sure that the general fund was reimbursed for some of the ARPA expenses.
mhm,
So. And then I also took into consideration that which has already been allotted. But I think I might have forgotten the park gate. I'll have to look to see if we decided to take that out of the park, out of the ARPA fund, the park gate. That's an amount that I'll have to look into, but for now, we have almost 200,000 will need to pay off the road bond.
Mhm.
78,000 for the Red Mountain. And 10,000 for the horse trailer. And depending on the park gate, that would leave us about 450,000.
We do have another 52K for Loman Hill, Loman and
Oh, it's in
Hilltop.
an email. I'd already moved that.
Oh, did you already
Yeah, I
move it?
moved that
Yeah,
back
that's
here.
moved into the.
Yeah.
Okay.
DDA.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that got moved last year.
And the gate, I mean, let's just ballpark it, right? The gate was like, what, 10,000?
It was a little over 10.
Okay.
Over 10.
So the long and short, the long and skinny is that we do have, we do have funds available, but I mean, do we see it as a worthwhile investment?
Yeah. We're not gonna make another winner with the existing driveway. We're going to have to put money out there. Okay,
Got any
the
questions?
additional money we have in ARPA funds, I think we should be looking at long-term capital projects. That said.
Are we looking to take bids from other companies on this?
Yeah, so that was just his rough estimate.
This is the engineers.
This is the engineer's estimate. It'll go to bid. So I mean, it could always come in less. I mean, it could come in more, but
Have we budgeted for the engineers to provide the oversight?
Mhm.
Okay,
And that did not come out of park. We budgeted,
I thought that came out of the general, didn't it?
yeah, and I can't remember how much.
it wasn't much.
it was like
Yeah,
10,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
10,100,
Yeah.
I think was the NT.
Okay. I would make a motion that we proceed with the planning and utilization. Well, with the budget not to exceed $155,000.
Or any questions from anybody?
From ARPA?
Yes.
I'm not seeing why we would put a limit on that right now. Because right now we're seeing what the engineers are telling us. But I do agree that we do have to move forward and start getting bids. Once we get the bids, then I could see us saying, okay, here's our limit. Do we agree or disagree? Because if we say we got a limit of 155,000, as an example, we get three
Let me
companies
address
giving us
that.
3 bids for 154,900.
Let me address that. If we approve $155,000 right now,
Mhm.
okay. That means the mayor can go ahead and contract up to $155,000 and we don't have to address this yet. If the actual formal bid results come in over $155,000, then we need to address it again.
With $155,000, I think we should address it again. Whatever the 3, 4, or 5 bids are. I agree that everybody at this table is highly trusted. But with this being the city's money, the people's money, we have to watch and see where it's going. I believe a young gentleman at this table told me that we had to be financially responsible to the city that way. And all it is a proper oversight, that's all.
When you have a public bid opening, there's,
You already have a price.
Mhm.
when we have a public bid opening and the engineer makes a recommendation, that's pretty well transparent and open to the public, sir. But I withdraw my motion, sir, and you have the floor.
I
Take
say
into
move forward.
consideration, you risk additional
Time.
engineering fees.
I'd say we just move forward and find the bidders for this. If it's only one person making a bid, that's the bids we get. If you find 3 or 5 people that want to make bids on it, those are the bids that we all consider.
So what do you say?
I'm not,
What's the motion?
Engineering.
We move forward to start collecting bids on this.
okay,
What kind of
and
timeline?
are you gonna advertise for the bids? Are you gonna follow it up or are we gonna task the engineer to do so?
Mayor's the one that's been leading point on this. Why would I stop him from doing it now? He knew the people to talk to, who he wanted to talk to.
Mayor, would you like to address this?
Not really.
Are we gonna turn this over to the engineer and task him with
Correct,
doing the documents and the bids and,
correct.
okay?
So the motion is,
I think the motion should be. Let's cut it short, right? I see your point and I know your point. So let's call it the 135 that Jess has given me, has quoted me. And if it comes out more, then we got to come back. But keep in mind, we're gonna run, we could run into time delays because now we got to wait 2 weeks to have a meeting. If we doesn't fall in the right.
Contingency fee and.
Right. And then more money for the engineer, so. He's already hounded me about finding it, so about getting our approval, and we had to delay last time. So that being said, if we can meet in the middle that the 135 that he recommended, then at least I can
can
say,
move forward.
let's go forward and let's
I
send
think
it
we
to
could do
bid.
that.
so we need a motion.
I know that's exactly why.
Motion.
I yield back to you, Alderman Fellinger, with your motion.
You make a motion.
I will repeat my motion that we proceed with this project not to exceed 155,000. If it exceeds 155,000, it needs to come back to council. Otherwise,
Second the motion.
the mayor proceeds.
All right, so I have a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderman Rapino to proceed with the project to restructure the parking lot with an NTE of 155,000. All those in favor?
Funded for market, sir.
Funded from ARPA.
But to authorize the engineer to request bids.
Right, to move forward and request bids. So a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderman Rapino to authorize the engineer to move forward and request bids with an NTE of 155,000 payable from the ARPA funds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's unanimous. Okay, moving forward. Discuss and or possible action on quotes received for the purchase and installation of a storage building to be placed at the community center. So as a heads up, it was decided, right, that the storage facility that's at the
The existing building that, in the maintenance yard will remain in the maintenance yard. Public Works needs the additional storage space. That building has double doors and windows, so it's really not secure other than being in the yard. So we want to look at placing a storage shed by the community center. It will have a single walk door,
Metal door is,
steel door, and no windows. It's for storage. Our community center is getting really busy. And it's gonna be busier. Kids are getting out of school. We're gonna have some daytime activities going on. And now that we have air conditioning, we can offer it as a cooling center for our seniors during the daytime when we're in high heating strength.
not the,
Uh,
not the, not the.
No,
not the storage
portable
facility.
building.
not the storage shed, the
The community center. It's to basically clean out the community center so we can use it as it should be.
I got 3 bids, all of them, well, 2 of them are all metal buildings, one of them is all wood. The low bid is Stay House Affordable Buildings. And I'm recommending that
Yes, that's the one we like.
we approve the purchase of a 10 by 16 all metal storage building from Tejas Portable Buildings. And I'd like to be authorized to go ahead and sign off on this and get it on the way.
Well, I know we just approved an item to spend a whole bunch of money on a parking lot, but I mean, is the stuff that we're moving in there really worth $4,000 or $4,500? Or, I mean, can we clean up what's in our current building and then realize that we probably don't need an additional storage?
I don't think so, not with all the activities that are going on in there. The tables, the chairs, other stuff that they have stored in there.
Oh, and one of the other things that this would be used for is a community closet. We have a lot of donated clothing that
Yeah,
on market days, we can set a table out in front of this building, set everything out. And people with excess clothes can donate, people that need clothes can take it away.
that's a primary thing they want to get started, really.
Hasn't Market Days slowed down?
Market days have, but they're trying to re-establish them. It's just about every day that they've had market days it's rained.
I've been getting a lot of rain.
What are we using the previous marshal's office, chief's office for? The
There's-
one that was in there,
Storage.
It's storage,
storage.
but
And then there's
But
that,
no, they have an office there, but they have a stack full of
yeah,
Mhm,
stuff too.
okay, and then there's that little section that the tables go over here, this little section over here in front of the office, what is that used for? Because that's where the judge and them sat.
Mm,
they have
Couldn't
all-
we close that off?
It's
no.
not big enough for what they want to
By that
use
time, you
it.
might as well spend
Yeah.
4,000
Yeah, and I
before you
mean,
get a contract.
we start trying to modify
No,
that building.
You know, just maybe helping the mayor think of another solution for this.
Well, they've looked at lots of things, and they're just pressed in there.
And they're just gonna continue growing.
Yeah,
And.
Or more
and-
activities.
Yeah, with
Mhm.
the summer full of activities,
Mhm.
we're not gonna lose a lot. Now, is there some things in there we could maybe do away with? Probably so,
yeah.
but
You
Yeah.
gotta consider they've got softball equipment laying around
we've got-
still, they've got.
And as we
Golf
expand the
equipment.
park, there's going to be more things that we're going to do. We're talking about, in the last meeting, we were talking about the putting out the disc golf and putting out a.
So does the
practice-
Park and Recreations have funds?
No,
No,
not for this.
Not for that.
Yeah. What is there? Well, I guess that's a different story.
Public Works? No.
This won't come out of public works.
No. So,
Look, I mean, my
Last building. It come out of Public Works.
that was I don't know, that was way many moons ago.
I just.
Way before your time.
Yeah. Look, my concern, right, is that we're going to get this shed, which is better than the one that's over there.
Mhm.
And we're gonna now have more room to store more stuff. And then we're gonna fill it up,
Big one.
and then we're gonna need another shed. Because if we are growing as much as we are, right?
well, progress is, I mean, if we don't have the funds later, then we just have to suck it up.
Have we looked into, what are those things called, Charles? The big metal ones that are on the tree?
Honestly,
Iconics?
no,
no,
That's on site.
first, they cost more than portable buildings.
yeah.
And secondly, have you ever dealt with one of them?
Yeah, but
Okay.
they cut out, right, a door and they welded in a frame and they made an actual door, you're not dealing with the
Okay,
front of it.
that you're talking $1,500 to $1,800 to do that.
Minimum.
Okay, I'm just saying, we looked at it, because it's bigger than a 10 by 16.
It's a discussion.
That's true, sir. So for the,
My concern is we got a plan for the future, right? And if we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff in the parks, a 10x16 is gonna be filled up like that. If they filled up a portable building in Sandy Oaks, they're gonna fill up a 10x16. And then it's just gonna be a bunch of stuff that possibly just sits and sits and sits.
that's true. But if it doesn't sit, then we have to buy decorations every day and, I mean, I don't know, do you keep Christmas decorations at your house?
Yep.
I do lights.
Huh?
I just keep my lights. And it takes room, and I agree. And that's why I don't give my wife room to my garage, because she's just gonna fill it up. So, I mean, I think we're gonna run into the same issue, right?
The first time experience, right? I mean, I have 2 sheds now.
See?
So why don't we approve?
I have
the
3.
NCD and get?
One is a doghouse. But I think we need this, and it is something that the people we have down there are all volunteers, and they work hard.
I agree.
And they are,
I'd like to make a motion then.
this is something that they they will make work, and they will not, they're not trying to
Just spend the money.
get,
No.
and just spend the money. This is something that's going to help them make the community center better. And help the community.
And I agree, but I guess my concern is I don't know what's in there, right? So if we can come to an agreement to approve this, let's do a spring cleaning.
I know.
And let's get rid of everything hasn't been moved
Take it a goodwill.
in 2 years. Yeah, and then let's really see, right, if there is a need for this shed. We can approve it, fine. But if we can clean out a bunch of garbage that hasn't been touched in 2 years, if we're talking about we're gonna be a community center that's gonna receive clothing, but then we never have days that we give it out,
Right.
then we've just become a junkyard.
Right.
So, I mean-
Closer goodwill.
So,
I don't have a problem with it, and I guess let me just,
Yeah.
make sure that I stress that I don't have a problem with it. But the more we add for storage, the more we're gonna store stuff that probably should have been discarded 3 years ago.
and I don't think there's anything that
You don't think so?
needs to be discarded. I mean, they're getting more
At this
tables, they're
point,
getting
yeah.
more chairs, they have stuff that.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of the building from Tejas as outlined in their bid, authorizing Alderman Fellinger to lead the way on getting that picked up and installed. I also believe this should be paid for out of the ARPA funds not to exceed $4,500.
Sir,
I'll second.
we actually have a balance of $19,546.64 in the city parks and grounds
Well, there you go.
budget.
Yes, we do, but this is something for the entire city, not just for the park. That's how I seen it that way. Would you like to suggest that
I think we should keep the ARPA funds there because the parking lot
Okay.
might be more.
then I amend my motion to have the money spent from the city park funds?
And that's fine. I don't care where it comes from, they need it.
And you said you would second it, sir.
I'll second.
Thank you, sir.
It
If
looked
you
like,
give me a not to exceed, sir,
Yes, sir, 4,500.
thank you.
is that what is on the bid?
The bid was 4,095.
95.
Plus $105 for concrete block.
Look at that.
Okay,
Still under 4,500.
so it's coming down for end of the
The park and
We
city
still need to have it approved.
No.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm writing this out.
Okay.
All right, so I have a motion from Alderman Coppendaffer and a second from Alderman Rapino to approve the purchase of a storage shed with the not to exceed of $4,500 to come from the parks and city ground fees, city ground budget. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? That's unanimous.
Y'all are cleaning out and anything is found excess, it needs to come to the council to be declared as surplus before you donate it. So just keep that in mind too. Have a list, a general list of what is being declared as surplus.
Okay,
Before it's disposed of.
let's take a,
Oh,
Because it
Who's over
could
there
be an
one day?
asset.
Okay.
And that's if it was purchased
You
by
can see
the
there's probably nothing that they don't say about
city,
this.
like clothing.
It's still an
Any city
asset.
property.
Any asset.
Anything that's city
City
property,
property,
so
donated
even if
to-
it's donated, yes.
So we would have to determine,
Keep a list
Yeah,
or an itemized list to bring to council to declare a surplus before getting rid of it.
so what we can do, Tom, is let's talk to the Parks Committee. And let's take an inventory of everything we're gonna discard.
Okay, I don't think there's.
You don't think so? Okay, I mean, that's
We'll
fine.
do that.
Yeah, let's take a
Yeah.
look, and then let's, if we're gonna discard anything, then we can bring it to council.
And probably a
Yeah, I don't-
general value, a market value, or
I don't think there's any.
Well, it'd probably be good to know what's down there anyway, to take a
Yeah.
list of
Well,
what
they
is
know.
present. So
Oh, yeah.
it's a win-win.
Come up with
Whether
inventory.
it's starting or not.
There's-
back in, you know.
All the clothing they have down there is for exchange for people that come down there that need clothing.
or who's.
No, that like.
What was the last time?
clothing to the
But they
community
have,
center.
I think
We'll have
it's
fire.
a piecemeal, that they, people come in and they say, do you see this?
Do you have?
But then.
Well, we used to have
Yeah,
exchanges.
that's right.
It used to
Make a
be
motion
more-
that we move on, yeah. Item 12.
Okay,
After we adjourn.
So we can cover that.
all right, that closes item
Who adjourned?
Okay, Alderman Covenant made a motion to adjourn
Outside.
at 7:22,
Hallelujah.
and we are adjourned.
Yeah.